Hello. Today is Sunday, May 24th, and I want to give you my garden update. I'm going to start here at the seedlings table because this is really the only place that I've ran into a minor difficulty. All my stuff sprouted really well. The only stuff I've had a problem with has been tomatoes and peppers. Let me show you what's going on here. Here's an example of some of the tomatoes where right about the time the first true leaves start, either they brown and fall off, or here's some peppers. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm losing, these sproutlings right about the time that the first true leaves should show up. So my two theories about what has been going on has been either I didn't have a good soil choice because I was using just regular garden bed soil as opposed to some seedling, or they were maybe getting too much sun because instead of starting indoors, I've been starting them outdoors. So what I've done to adjust is as you can see now, I'm using this umbrella to give them shade. And this batch here has the seedling soil. So I've started some peppers and some tomatoes with seedling soil and mostly shaded to try and adjust. But because it's already almost June, I actually went out and bought some heirloom peppers and tomato starters so that I wouldn't get too far behind and left some space in the garden for any seedlings that germinate. So let me go show you what I got going on in the garden right now. Alright, so welcome into the garden. Again, today is May 24th. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. And let me show you what I got growing right now. So in 3 of the 4 corners, I've planted dahlia flowers. This one's just starting to sprout. And then in the front row, you can see I've got my herbs that are in pots. And most of these here are that Tulsi or holy basil and lemon balm, some spearmint, some regular basil, some echinacea. These have just started. And over here, a little further along with some, you can see the cilantro here has sprouted, basil here, echinacea. I have toothache plant as well. So this half of the row is planted with sweet potatoes, and these are Jersey yellow, and the purple leaves are Molokai purple. And I got these sweet potato shoots from Baker Creek. So staying in this quadrant for now, these are the tomato starters. And what I have are 3 planted rows of 6 each. This planted row are the cherry tomatoes. And so I started with the lighter varieties up front and worked my way back to some of the darker varieties. And this very back one is actually a purple tomatillo. So not a tomato, but a close relative. So I don't remember all the names yet. I'll pretty much have them memorized, but so these are the larger or medium-sized tomatoes. And again, starting with the lighter colors, like I think this is called Hawaiian pineapple, and then a green zebra, and then going on to some reds and darker colors. And I have 2 spaces still left back there. This row of 6 is what I'll refer to as like my paste tomatoes or sun-drying tomatoes, and I just have 2 varieties. The first 3 plants are Roma, and the next 3 plants are San Marzano. So again, the tomatoes were all bought as starters because I was having some trouble with the sproutings, but I've left what would be basically this row here. So if some of those starter sprouts on my table over there take off, I'll plant, hopefully I will, some of those fun varieties I ordered the seeds from during the winter. So anyways, that's the tomatoes, that's this quadrant. Swinging back here, I talked about the herbs, and here I have melons. So the melons are coming along. White Wonder, Janusk, a white and a yellow flesh, as well as Haogen and Tiger Melon. And then this row here, it's all cucumbers, 3 varieties. And then back to there are also cucumbers, two varieties. It's like Armenian and I think ANC pickling. The cucumbers back there, it's Muncher, ANC pickling, National pickling, and then True Lemon cucumbers. And then these are 3 golden zucchini. So you can see some of these leaves have kind of yellowed. I'm not quite sure what that's due to. I don't know if it's natural, normal, because it's a golden zucchini, or but I've sprayed certain plants with organic neem oil, and so that's how I'm going to try and control pests. Last year I had aphids and some other pests, so I'm going to try some organic neem oil, spray it maybe once a week, try and keep that down. So talking about this quadrant here, these are my bush beans, and I think I have Provider and Golden Wax. And then behind them, against the trellis, I have my 2 varieties of pole beans, and I have Hidatsa and Oro de Cabra. And so I forget which is which, but we'll see that soon enough. So staying in this quadrant, I have my peas. They're on this wood and string trellis. And so my varieties of peas, I think I have some little markers right here. Let's take a look. I've got Little Marvel. I've got these Sugar Snaps. And here I have Green Arrow. So then coming to the back, always a favorite are the sunflowers. And part of the reason I was spraying the neem, you can see some of these earlier leaves really got kind of attacked by some sort of insect, and I didn't really see a heavy infestation, but I saw some like little black spots here and there, which I assume were whatever the pests were. So having sprayed, you can see how much better some of the higher up leaves look. It's gotten that under control. And my sunflowers, as you can see, I'm going to kind of get into them. They're now, you know, what would I say, waist high plus. So they're always fun. And I have 3 varieties here. This furthest back variety, the Russian Mammoth. Then I have, I think these are Titan, and the back row here, Mongolian Giant. Forward, those don't have any flower heads yet, you can see. Okay, and then let's hit this last quadrant here. What I've got are my hot peppers, and again, these were all starters as well. So within my hot peppers, I've got 2 varieties of habanero, a red and a yellow. Then I have 2 black cobra. I have 2 fatale, and then I have some more unusual varieties. This one here is tiger's tooth, and this is a 7-pot douglas, which is apparently crazy hot. So I figured I'd give 1 or 2 weird ones a try. And then I've got 3 jalapenos, and in the back I have 2 sweet banana pepper, so they're not hot at all. And what I'll do is if some of my my pepper sprouts, if they take off, then I'll just swing this brown irrigation line up this way and do another row of my own sprouts. So I'm hoping like the violet sparkle. I have a purple pepper that I got from a pepper I ate at Santa Barbara High School that I saved some variety, some seeds, you know, a couple ones that I really want to sprout. So hopefully I'll get some of those, fill it in there, just like I've left room with my tomatoes. So that's the update at the moment. Again, May 24th. It's coming along. It's really beautiful. I'm using, you know, the compost, as you can see, in certain areas, either like the richest stuff in the middle. I'll give it to the corn. Oh, I don't think I've talked about the corn yet. And, you know, some of the browner, less composted material I use kind of as walkways, but using up the compost that way. My 3 varieties, I have the Tom Thumbs here, 2 rows. This furthest back row is actually mixed, so The 2 rows here are Tom Thumbs, and you can see these have already gotten, you know, the tassels, they've sprouted, but, you know, I'm not seeing many bees, and that kind of worries me. So hopefully we'll get good corn, hopefully we'll get good vegetables, but I know it's early, I don't have a lot of color in the garden, it's not maybe, but I'm not seeing bees, and I'm nervous about that. The second 2 rows, which are slightly larger than the Tom Thumbs, those are strawberry popcorn. You know, hasn't shown me any tassels or anything there. And then the back row, the tallest of the 3 corn, that is Cherokee long ear. So all 3 of my heirloom corn are popcorn varieties. Again, Cherokee long ear, strawberry, and Tom Thumbs. So there it is.